It was a cold Tuesday in April 2025 when the final signature was etched onto the deed for Coyote Pass. For the world watching TLC, it looked like the end of a long, property-based feud. But for Janelle and Meri Brown, the real battle was just beginning. Deep within the closing documents of that $1.5 million sale sat a paper that had nothing to do with land and everything to do with control. Robyn Brown, the only legal wife, had reportedly issued an ultimatum: no signature on the sale, no payout for the other wives, unless they signed a non-disclosure agreement. A contract for their eternal silence. Tonight, we peel back the layers of the legal and spiritual covenants that Robyn used to consolidate power. We are looking at the verified claims, the legal implications, and the moment the favorite wife turned a family disagreement into a legal war. Stick with us, because in the next 90 seconds, we'll reveal the specific power play Janelle claims Robyn used to hold the family's money hostage for over 6 weeks. To understand the contracts of 2025, we have to look back at the Sacred Covenant of 2014. When Kody legally married Robyn, it wasn't just about adoption. It was the birth of a new legal hierarchy. Research depth. Public records from the Brown v. Buman case highlight that while polygamy was decriminalized in Utah, it offered zero financial protection for spiritual wives. Robyn became the sole gatekeeper of Kody's legal estate. In a 2023 one-on-one special, Kody admitted to a private agreement with Robyn, a pact to free each other if they ever fell out of love. A mercy he famously denied to Meri. As the community on Reddit has pointed out, this was the first secret contract, a deal made behind the backs of the other wives that shifted the spiritual goalposts of their marriage. The Coyote Pass ultimatum. Fast forward to season 20. The family is in tatters. The land at Coyote Pass, undeveloped since 2018, is finally on the market. A buyer is ready. The $1.5 million is on the table. But according to explosive interviews with Janelle and Meri, Robyn popped up at the 11th hour. Janelle recalls, Robyn hadn't chimed in at all for 6 weeks. Then, at the very end, she comes with a completed document for us to sign. This wasn't a standard real estate form. It was a confidentiality agreement. The terms: Meri and Janelle would be forbidden from ever taking legal action to recover the money they had invested in Kody and Robyn's lifestyle over the past decade. Coming up, we look at why Meri says she refused to sign, and the twisted threats she claims Kody made to sell the land out from under her. The silence for cash deal. Meri Brown's reaction was visceral. "They didn't want me to talk," she told interviewers in January 2026. "I'm not going to be silenced again." The legal weight of this is massive. Under Arizona law, if a contract is entered into under duress or misrepresentation, it can be voided. But Janelle and Meri were in a corner. If they didn't sign, the $1.5 million sale would collapse, leaving them with nothing but taxes on empty dirt. Fan reactions on social media have been scathing. One top comment on a popular Sister Wives YouTube deep dive stated, "Robyn knew she used their Vegas money for her mansion. The NDA wasn't about the land, it was about covering her tracks." The MLM connection and the LLC. Why was an NDA so important to Robyn? The answer might lie in the family's shared business accounts. Most of the Brown family income was funneled into an LLC managed by Kody. Forensic accountants suggest that if the OG3 could prove fraudulent spending, using business funds for personal luxury items, the NDA would be the only thing protecting Kody and Robyn from a massive civil lawsuit. By 2025, Kody and Robyn were reportedly under financial strain, even obtaining a $750,000 equity line against their home. The contracts Robyn pushed for weren't just about privacy, they were about financial survival. The aftermath: breaking the seal. Janelle Brown eventually called the NDA a total power play. She refused to be muzzled. By early 2026, the land finally sold, but the silence Robyn bought was short-lived. The long-term implications are already unfolding. Robyn and Kody are now in what they call their worst year of marriage, living as monogamists in a house built on the backs of women who are now speaking their truth. Reddit user Petunia B noted, Robyn tried to pretend the NDA was to protect Meri from Kody and Janelle. It was a PR spin that nobody bought. The truth always outruns the contract. Robyn Brown wanted a sacred covenant. She wanted the security of a legal marriage and the silence of her sister wives. But you cannot contract away the truth. As season 20 draws to a close, the secret contracts have been exposed not in a courtroom, but in the court of public opinion. Janelle is in North Carolina. Meri is at her B&B. And Robyn is left with the one thing she fought so hard to keep, a man who no longer has anyone else to blame. The mountain is sold, the contracts are public, and the silence is finally over. Let's deep dive in full details. When Sister Wives premiered in 2010, the Brown family presented a united front. One husband, 4 wives, shared faith, shared purpose. Kody Brown often described the family as a cooperative unit, spiritually married, emotionally committed, legally complex. But plural marriage, by definition, exists in a legal gray zone. Only one marriage can be legally recognized. And paperwork matters. By the time Robyn Brown entered the family in 2010, the Browns were no longer just a family. They were a business, a television brand, a legal liability. What happens when love becomes intellectual property? Reality television is built on contracts, extensive ones. Former TLC participants from unrelated shows have confirmed that non-disclosure agreements, appearance releases, and conduct clauses are standard. According to entertainment attorney interviews published in Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, reality cast NDAs often include restrictions on discussing unaired footage, limitations on contradicting official storylines, financial penalties for reputation harm, confidentiality clauses extending years beyond filming. While TLC has never released the Browns' contracts, Christine Brown publicly acknowledged in a 2022 interview, "There were things we were not allowed to say. This statement is verifiable. What it does not clarify, who enforced those boundaries inside the family. Production silence is one thing. Family-enforced silence is another." Robyn entered the family as the 4th wife, but quickly became central. By 2014, something unprecedented happened. Kody legally divorced Meri Brown and legally married Robyn. The official reason: adoption rights for Robyn's children. But legal marriage brought new authority. Under U.S. law, a legal spouse holds medical decision rights, estate advantages, Contractual priority. Financial disclosure access. Robyn went from newest wife to legal gatekeeper. When the paperwork changed, did the power dynamics change with it? Multiple former wives have referenced family agreements over the years. Not court-filed contracts, but internal rules. Agreements about what could be discussed publicly, how finances were handled, who spoke to producers, how disputes were framed on camera. Christine later stated on camera, "I felt like I didn't have a voice." Janelle echoed, "There were expectations I didn't agree with." These statements are documented episodes, not speculation. Fans began asking, who was setting these expectations? Rules don't need judges to be enforced, only consequences. Public records show that the Browns formed multiple LLCs over the years for speaking engagements, property purchases, filming, income distribution. While details remain private, financial experts note that control of shared LLCs often follows legal marriage and centralized management. Janelle, who handled family finances for years, later admitted, "I didn't realize how little control I actually had." This admission aired in season 18. If the money wasn't equally controlled, was the silence equally enforced? Season 16. Pandemic tensions. Christine expresses unhappiness. Kody responds, "Not with empathy, but authority. I'm not going to tolerate disloyalty." Viewers noticed Robyn's silence. Not disagreement. Not reassurance. Just observation. Reddit threads exploded. One comment with over 3,000 upvotes read, "Robyn doesn't need to speak. The system already protects her. Power doesn't shout. It waits." Let's be precise. There is no public evidence of Robyn personally drafting or legally forcing wives to sign court-filed contracts. However, what is verifiable? TLC NDAs existed. Internal family agreements were acknowledged. Legal marriage shifted financial authority. Wives repeatedly cited fear of consequences for speaking. In legal terms, these are informal coercive structures, not illegal, but powerful. Sociologists studying closed family systems describe this as soft enforcement control. If no one held a pen, why did everyone follow the rules? By 2023, fan sentiment shifted dramatically. YouTube breakdown videos reached millions of views. Facebook groups documented episode timestamps. Reddit users compiled spreadsheets tracking contradictions. One viral comment summarized the consensus. It wasn't a contract. It was a system. The word contract became symbolic, not literal. A metaphor for obligation without consent. Sometimes the strongest chains are invisible. After Christine left, she spoke freely. So did Janelle. So did Meri, eventually. The silence lifted. Not gradually. Instantly. Legal experts note this pattern often follows expiration of NDAs or withdrawal from shared financial structures. No court battle followed. No lawsuits. Just truth. If nothing was hidden, why did everything come out at once? If you're here to actually understand what happened, not just react to it, like this video, subscribe, and comment that you're joining the investigation. Then keep watching, because what comes next is the paper trail, the pattern, and the evidence most viewers missed.